how the greatest quarterback in NFL history posted a series of selfies with a song choice so unusual, so deeply personal, that it sent shockwaves through social media just days after his ex-wife Gisele Bündchen married her jiu-jitsu instructor boyfriend in what sources are calling an intimate ceremony in Costa Rica. Tom Brady, 47 years old, 7 Super Bowl rings, a net worth hovering around $300 million, chose to soundtrack his December 2024 Instagram carousel with "I Feel Like My Life Ain't Mine" by the artist Odetari, and the timing couldn't be more loaded with meaning. Gisele tied the knot with Joaquim Valente on December 8th, 2024, and just days later, Brady's posting what many are interpreting as the most vulnerable public moment of his post-divorce life. A moment that raises questions about what's really going on behind the carefully managed public image of someone who spent 2 decades as the face of the NFL. Section 1. The post that started everything. December 12th, 2024 brought a series of selfies to Tom Brady's Instagram account that looked innocent enough on the surface. Just another celebrity sharing casual photos with his 97 million followers. The images showed Brady in what appeared to be a hotel room or temporary living space, wearing a simple black t-shirt, hair slightly tousled, the kind of unpolished look that celebrities usually avoid when they're carefully managing their brand. 3 photos total in the carousel, each one a slightly different angle of essentially the same shot. Nothing particularly remarkable about the composition or the setting. And then people noticed the audio track he'd chosen to accompany these otherwise unremarkable selfies. "I Feel Like My Life Ain't Mine" by Odetari, a song that peaked at moderate success on TikTok earlier in 2024, carries lyrics that hit differently when you know the context of who's posting them and when. The chorus repeats variations on the title phrase, exploring themes of losing control over your own existence, feeling like you're living someone else's life, questioning whether the choices you're making are actually yours or dictated by external pressures and expectations. Social media platforms exploded within hours of the post going live, with thousands of comments analyzing the song choice as a coded message about Brady's emotional state following Gisele's remarriage. Twitter users created side-by-side comparisons of the post's timestamp and reports about Gisele's Costa Rica wedding. Reddit threads dissected every possible interpretation of the lyrics in relation to Brady's divorce. And entertainment news outlets started running stories within 24 hours asking whether this represented a rare moment of vulnerability from someone who spent his entire public life maintaining almost superhuman composure. The caption Brady included was minimal. Just a simple phrase that didn't address the song choice or provide any context that would help people understand whether this was intentional emotional signaling or just random audio selection. And that ambiguity only fueled more speculation about what message he was trying to send, or whether he even realized how the timing would be interpreted. Section 2. The Gisele wedding timeline. December 8th, 2024 saw Gisele Bündchen, 44 years old, marry Joaquim Valente in what multiple sources described as a small, private ceremony in Costa Rica with only close family and friends in attendance. Valente, 36 years old, teaches jiu-jitsu at the Valente Brothers Academy in Miami, and his connection to Gisele traces back to 2021 when she and her children started taking classes at the gym while she was still married to Brady. The relationship remained professional through the divorce proceedings that finalized in October of 2022. Or at least that's the timeline both Gisele and Valente have publicly maintained, though tabloid speculation has questioned whether something romantic developed earlier than they've admitted. February 2023 brought the first paparazzi photos of Gisele and Valente together in Costa Rica that suggested something beyond a student-teacher relationship. Images showing them walking on the beach, having dinner, spending time in settings that looked more like a couple's vacation than a professional training trip. March 2023 saw Gisele publicly deny any romantic involvement in an interview with Vanity Fair, stating that Valente was a great teacher and emphasizing that he'd been so helpful with her children. But she characterized their relationship as friendship and nothing more. November 2023 marked when sources close to Gisele confirmed to People magazine that she and Valente were indeed dating, roughly a year after her divorce from Brady became final. And the confirmation came with statements emphasizing that the relationship had developed slowly and naturally over time, rather than being some affair that contributed to the marriage ending. Brady, for his part, never publicly commented on Gisele's new relationship, maintaining his usual pattern of keeping personal matters private and focusing any public statements on his children or his business ventures. The wedding itself happened at Gisele's Costa Rica property, a place she's owned since before the divorce and has described as her sanctuary, somewhere she goes to escape the pressures of public life and reconnect with nature. Guest list reportedly included fewer than 50 people, with both Gisele's and Valenti's immediate families present. And notably, the couple had signed a prenuptial agreement, given Gisele's estimated net worth of $400 million. October 28, 2022, brought the announcement that Tom Brady and Gisele Bündchen were divorcing after 13 years of marriage, ending what had been considered one of the most stable and successful relationships in professional sports. The marriage started back in December 2009 after a whirlwind courtship that began in late 2006. Introduced through a mutual friend on a blind date that Brady later described in interviews as immediate chemistry, the kind of connection where both of them knew something significant was happening. They got engaged in January 2009 and married in a small Catholic ceremony in Santa Monica, California, followed by a second celebration in Costa Rica, establishing the location as meaningful to their relationship from the very beginning. 2 children came from the marriage: Benjamin Rain Brady, born in December 2009, and Vivian Lake Brady, born in December 2012. And Gisele also became stepmother to John Edward Thomas Moynihan, Brady's son with actress Bridget Moynihan, from a previous relationship that ended shortly before Brady met Gisele. The blended family appeared to function well based on public appearances and social media posts over the years, with Gisele often posting photos with all 3 children and discussing how motherhood had become her primary focus, even as her modeling career continued. February 2020 brought Brady's decision to leave the New England Patriots after 20 seasons and sign with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a move that required relocating the entire family from Massachusetts to Florida, uprooting the children from their schools and friends, and, according to later reports, created the first major strain in the marriage, as Gisele had hoped Brady would retire and transition into a post-football life. Brady won a 7th Super Bowl with Tampa Bay in February 2021, cementing his legacy but also reinforcing his commitment to continuing his playing career rather than stepping away. The retirement announcement came on February 1st, 2022, when Brady stated he was done with football after 22 seasons, and Gisele reportedly felt relief that they could finally focus on family life and the business ventures they'd discussed pursuing together. 40 days later, on March 13th, 2022, Brady reversed his decision and announced he was returning for another season with the Buccaneers. And multiple sources later confirmed that this reversal devastated Gisele and essentially marked the point where their marriage became unsalvageable. August 2022 saw Brady take an 11-day leave from Buccaneers training camp to deal with personal things. And reports at the time suggested he and Gisele were in intensive couples therapy, trying to salvage the relationship. September 2022 brought a bombshell interview where Gisele told Elle magazine that she had concerns about Brady continuing to play football, stating, "This is a very violent sport, and I have my children, and I would like him to be more present." Words that made it clear the marriage was in serious trouble even before the divorce was formally announced. The divorce filing happened in Florida, where they'd established residency, and the proceedings moved quickly, with both parties reaching settlement terms within weeks, suggesting they'd already worked out the major issues privately before making anything public. Custody arrangements gave both parents significant time with the children. Brady kept his Tampa Bay area mansion and various business interests, while Gisele retained her Miami Beach property and her extensive business portfolio, including partnerships with brands like Louis Vuitton and Dior. Section 4. Brady's post-divorce public image. January 2023 saw Brady actually retire from the NFL for real this time, announcing his decision on February 1st, exactly 1 year after his first retirement that he'd reversed. And this time the announcement came with a video message that notably didn't mention Gisele or his family situation, despite those being the reasons multiple sources cited for his decision. The Fox Sports broadcasting deal that Brady had signed while still married became his primary professional focus. A 10-year contract worth $375 million that would have him calling NFL games starting in the 2024 season after sitting out a year to transition from player to commentator. May 2024 brought his first games in the broadcast booth during the network's coverage schedule, and reviews from sports media were mixed, with some praising his analysis and insider perspective, while others noted he seemed stiff and overly careful, like someone still figuring out how to be himself without the structure of being an active player. Business ventures proliferated in 2023 and 2024, with Brady becoming even more active in his TB12 health and wellness brand, launching a clothing line called Brady Brand, and making various investments in cryptocurrency and tech startups that have had varying degrees of success. The FTX cryptocurrency collapse particularly stung, as Brady had been a prominent spokesperson and investor, losing millions when the company went bankrupt and facing lawsuits from investors who claimed his celebrity endorsement had misled them. Dating life became tabloid fodder throughout 2023, with paparazzi linking Brady to various women, including Irina Shayk, the Russian supermodel who previously dated Bradley Cooper, and Cristiano Ronaldo, though neither Brady nor Shayk ever confirmed anything serious was developing. The rumored relationships always seemed to fizzle quickly, and friends quoted in various entertainment publications suggested Brady wasn't ready for anything serious and was still processing the divorce. Social media presence increased after retirement, as Brady no longer had NFL regulations limiting what he could post, and his Instagram account became more personal with photos of his children, workout videos maintaining his still impressive physique at 46 years old, and occasional motivational posts about discipline and hard work that read like they were as much reminders to himself as messages to his followers. Public appearances at NFL games showed Brady looking engaged and enthusiastic about his new role, but there was something people noticed in interviews and candid moments, a kind of lost quality, like someone who'd defined himself entirely through football and family for 2 decades, and was now trying to figure out who Tom Brady actually was without those structures. Section 5. The Song Choice Analysis. I Feel Like My Life Ain't Mine dropped earlier in 2024 from Odatari, an artist whose style blends hyperpop elements with electronic beats and intentionally glitchy production that feels chaotic and overwhelming, perfectly matching the lyrical themes about losing control. The specific lyrics that appear in the song include lines about feeling disconnected from your own choices, questioning whether you're living for yourself or for everyone else's expectations, and expressing exhaustion from maintaining an image that doesn't match internal reality. The chorus repeats variations on "I feel like my life ain't mine" over distorted beats, creating an almost dissociative feeling that mirrors what the words describe. Music industry experts interviewed after Brady's post noted that this particular song isn't something a 47-year-old former athlete would typically encounter unless he was actively searching for music that expressed specific emotions, because Odatari's audience skews heavily toward Gen Z listeners on TikTok, and the song never received major radio play or appeared on mainstream streaming playlists. That detail matters because it suggests Brady either found this song deliberately while looking for something that captured how he felt, or someone in his life recommended it, knowing the lyrics would resonate with his situation. The timing couldn't be more pointed, posting these selfies just days after Gisele's wedding when he had to know people would be watching his social media for any reaction. Any sign of how he was handling his ex-wife, remarrying someone she'd known while they were still married. Psychology experts quoted in various articles about the post suggested this represents a form of passive communication, sending a message without directly addressing the situation, allowing for plausible deniability while still expressing something he apparently needs people to hear. Lyric analysis becomes even more interesting when you consider Brady's specific life circumstances, because lines about feeling like your life isn't yours could reference his entire career spent meeting other people's expectations. His coaches, his teammates, his fans, the NFL, his family, always being Tom Brady the quarterback and the brand, rather than whoever he is underneath all that. The divorce forced him to confront that dynamic, and now watching Gisele move on and build a new life seemingly on her own terms while he's still figuring out what his post-football existence looks like has apparently triggered something worth expressing through this unusually vulnerable social media moment. Section 6. The broader pattern of Brady's struggles. June 2023 brought a Netflix roast special called The Roast of Tom Brady, where comedians brutally mocked various aspects of his life, including his divorce, his crypto losses, and his decision to unretire from football, And Brady himself participated and seemed to enjoy the jokes until afterwards, when he told a podcaster he regretted doing it because his children had to hear jokes about their parents' divorce. That regret revealed something about Brady's ongoing struggle with how much of his private life should be public. And the roast represented a miscalculation where he thought he could handle being the target of jokes about his failures, but discovered that opening up his personal struggles for comedy didn't feel as cathartic as maybe he'd hoped. The special got massive viewership on Netflix and generated weeks of social media discussion, but Brady hasn't participated in anything similar since, suggesting he learned a lesson about the cost of making your pain into entertainment. August 2023 saw Brady attend a wedding in Italy where Gisele was also a guest, the first time they'd been in the same place publicly since the divorce, and photographers captured them having what appeared to be tense conversations away from other guests. Neither commented publicly about the interaction, but body language experts analyzed the photos endlessly, noting that Brady appeared to be doing most of the talking, while Gisele maintained more distance and seemed to be keeping the conversation brief. September 2024 brought the start of Brady's first full season as Fox's lead NFL analyst, and his on-air performance showed improvement from his earlier trial games. But colleagues at the network reportedly noticed he seemed distracted and wasn't putting in the same obsessive preparation that had defined his playing career. Network executives remained supportive according to industry insiders, but there was recognition that Brady was dealing with a lot personally and needed time to fully settle into this new phase. Friends quoted anonymously in various publications throughout 2024 described Brady as lost, still trying to figure out what brings him joy outside of football, struggling with not having the daily structure and purpose that being an NFL quarterback provided for 2 decades. One source told People magazine that Brady doesn't know how to just be, and that he's always been defined by what he's achieving rather than who he is, making the post-retirement transition especially difficult, even without factoring in the divorce. Section 7. Gisele's contrasting trajectory. The contrast between Brady's struggle and Gisele's apparent thriving post-divorce couldn't be starker. And that difference probably makes Brady's situation feel even more difficult. Gisele walked away from the height of her modeling career at age 35 back in 2015, years before the divorce, voluntarily stepping back from runway work to focus on her family and personal projects, showing an ability to define herself outside her professional identity that Brady seemingly hasn't mastered. Her cookbook, published in 2018, became a bestseller. Her environmental activism through various charitable organizations gave her purpose beyond modeling. And her real estate investments and business partnerships meant she maintained financial independence and professional relevance without needing to trade on being Tom Brady's wife. The divorce freed her to pursue the quieter, more spiritually focused life she'd been pushing for during the marriage. And by all accounts from friends and public appearances, she seems genuinely happy with Valente in a way that suggests she's found what she was looking for. Her social media posts show her doing yoga on the beach, spending time in nature, focusing on her children's activities, living exactly the life she'd told Brady she wanted while they were married, but he wasn't ready to embrace. Business ventures continued thriving for Gisele post-divorce, with new partnerships announced throughout 2023 and 2024, her wellness and beauty investments growing, her influence in fashion remaining significant even though she's not actively modeling. Forbes estimated her 2024 earnings at over $30 million, proving she didn't need Brady's name or their marriage to maintain her status as one of the highest-earning models in history. The Valente relationship appears stable and healthy, based on paparazzi photos and reports from sources close to the couple, showing them doing normal couple activities like grocery shopping and walking on the beach, living what one source described as a much more grounded life compared to the celebrity circus of being married to Tom Brady. Valente doesn't seek publicity, runs his jiu-jitsu academy quietly, and seems content supporting Gisele without needing to be famous himself, giving her the kind of partnership dynamic that clearly works better for her than what she had with Brady. Section 8. The Children Factor. Benjamin turns 15 in December 2024. Vivian turned 12, and Jack from Brady's previous relationship is 17, making all 3 children old enough to have opinions about their parents' divorce and their mother's remarriage. Custody arrangements mean the kids spend significant time with both parents, and sources say both Brady and Gisele have worked hard to keep their divorce as amicable as possible for the children's sake. never publicly criticizing each other and maintaining united fronts on parenting decisions despite their personal separation. The kids reportedly get along well with Valente, who'd already been teaching them jiu-jitsu for years before he and Gisele started dating romantically, giving them an existing relationship that made the transition less jarring. School in Miami means the children stay primarily in South Florida during the school year, which is where Gisele lives and where Valente's academy operates, while Brady maintains his home in Tampa, about 4 hours away, and travels to Miami regularly for custody time. The geographic situation creates logistical challenges, but both parents have made it work according to people familiar with their arrangements. Brady's relationship with his children has always been a core part of his identity, and interviews over the years showed him frequently citing fatherhood as what matters most to him. Yet his actions in unretiring from football contradicted that stated priority in ways that Gisele made clear were unacceptable to her. Now, watching his ex-wife build a new family unit with another father figure present in his children's daily lives has to create complicated emotions that he can't easily express publicly without potentially making things harder for the kids. Social media posts from both parents consistently show them prioritizing the children, attending their sports events and school activities, celebrating birthdays and holidays, maintaining normalcy despite the divorce. But the posts also reveal the awkwardness of split custody with careful cropping and caption writing that acknowledges the other parent exists but maintains clear boundaries.